Rightio, over the ditch. Something different this week. Going to bring a few interviews, some of the highlights, if you like, from New Zealand harness racing. The actual Over the Ditch show will continue with Matty Mark and brought to you by Trackside Weekly, where we highlight form and some of the great stories that Matty can find. But after yesterday afternoon or late evening, I thought I'd better take the opportunity to catch up with one Hayden Cullen. Firstly, mate, hello and thank you for joining me.
Hey, Paul. Thanks very much for having me.
Congratulations. We Walk by Faith, Group 1. I better get the sponsors right. The Garage New Zealand Pacing Derby event. Got to be a great feather in your hat, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thanks very much, Paul. Yeah, it was a great thrill. You know, it's a very prestigious race, and you know, to be able to turn up there on Friday night with 3 runners in it, yeah, it's pretty satisfying.
Oh, it must be, and we're going to touch on your numbers if you like as we go through. I'm going to play the video. There's probably a few people that haven't seen it. I'll let it play in its entirety, but we'll just talk over the top of it. What were your confidence levels like, I suppose, before the race?
Look, we were happy with the whole team, really, Paul. You know, obviously hard races to win, and you know, you needed a bit of luck on the night, and we sort of haven't had our fair share of it in the last, you know, two or three meetings, and you know, we waited for last night for it to play out our way, I guess.
Wasn't really going to plan here. It probably was before We Walk by Faith. He's behind the leader, about to be 3 back the fence. Harris and John had to do a fair bit of work, and Hadron Collider, that can have a mind of his own, looked like he was giving Liv a little bit of that sort of a drive as well, and almost was like you're bringing yourselves undone, the stablemates, in a way.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, that Harrison John. He just tends to knock off a wee bit. I tried him last week there without the blinds on, you know, and he's bloody awful. He wouldn't go a yard. So I think sort of Cam got in front of that one there that was leading up, and he just switched off. So Liz one got on the chewy a wee bit, but it probably helped him get in front, I guess. Got his mind back on the job.
What happens here with Harrison? He jumps out of his gear. It's not far off about now. You're just there, right on the cue. Did Cam say there was anything on the track, or was it just...
No, he's a funny guy. Like, he just sort of looks at things to shy at, you know. It was nothing there, obviously, but yeah, he just spoke to something and just went off stride for a wee bit there, but we're fortunate enough for him to come back down quickly.
It didn't scare the rest of them. I think Matty Cross, a lot of people probably wouldn't have seen it, but Matty had actually just got back to the front of the field to start calling them, and he literally done it at that stage. So he didn't disrupt the field, but it was just 2 strides and went from there. And we'll touch on that with the rest of your team, I think, going forward. But this is where things sort of change a little bit, especially Liv hands up here. I think that's Bazooka going around here. It is Bazooka going 3 deep around, and it started to get a bit messy. What were you thinking about here?
Well, I wasn't too sure. I knew he was tough enough, Harrison John. You know, watched his races earlier on there, and he loves getting in a dogfight. And you know, I knew he'd get us to the lane, but yeah, it's just what was Chase the Dream going to do. You know, if he got around, you know, he's a very good horse, and yeah, we were just hoping that Harrison John could, you know, stick it out to the top of the lane.
Yeah, Chase the Dream not getting up outside the leader probably played into your hands a bit.
I think so, yeah. And it was good front running drive by Cam, you know.
Yep.
He's rated him well in front, and you know, put the pedal down about the 700 there, and it made it really hard for the ones that come from the back.
We haven't spoke about the winner. He's 3 back the fence. He's been biding his whole time. With Ferg in the car, Craig Ferguson won his first Group 1 last week. This week he gets his second one. And how are you feeling about now, mate?
Oh, well, look, from where we were watching, we're roaring home the leader, Harrison John, until halfway up the lane there. And we soon changed our tune. But, yeah, no, we're jumping for joy now anyway.
Yeah, I bet. Just an explosive turn of foot, wasn't it? Like, and it's a little bit of one of those attributes, if you like, of Bettor's Delight, that you can have tough horses, but if they've got some speed, it's mind-blowing fast. And that he put them away pretty quickly then when you watch it side on and get to witness it, didn't he?
Oh, I definitely did, yeah. You know, and he had a cosy run along the rail there too. You know, he didn't spend a penny, and you know, it played into his hands really well.
He's been a great little horse for you. Has he probably been a little bit of a head scratcher in a way for you? A couple of, I suppose, below par runs for him?
Oh, for sure. You know, last 4 weeks, you know, we couldn't been happier with him at home. He'd been training so good, and Draws probably hadn't helped him in his races. He's got back and got wide, and he just wasn't really finishing off like he probably should. So I think last week's run was a real good confidence builder for him.
Yep, and then he capped it off with that, and must have been great with Craig Ferguson. There's nothing to him; he's diminutive. As I said, it was 2 weeks ago. He got his first Group 1. He gets his second one now. What about for yourself and Amanda? Now, your stats are outstanding. How many Group 1 winners have you had?
That was our first one. We've had a couple of listed ones along the way also. So that was our first Group 1. So
congratulations.
Nice in the Derby.
a time-honoured one. If you're gonna unearth one, that's the time to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, we sort of hasn't really sunk in yet either.
I bet it. No, well, it hasn't. You've been working and you just knocked off. I thought you might have been busy today out partying on that, but not to be said just yet. Anyway, what's next for We Walk with Faith?
He'll go out for a wee break now, Paul. We're just going to go away for a few days now, and we'll set out a bit of a schedule for him. But he'll have 4 weeks out now and have a bit of a rest up.
A little bit of your team, I suppose, and what is going on. You've had an amazing run, and we'll go. I'll actually bring your stats up just so people can see them, Hayden, because I think it's an amazing year that you've had. You just gone out. You actually late last year, the start of this season, just prior to it, you went out on your own, yourself and Amanda. 103 starters for 22 winners. That in itself is an outstanding record, but over 53 first, seconds, and thirds, like placings in the top three, and 50% of your starters. When you went out on your own, yourself and Amanda, and I know you weren't sure how big you were going to get, where you're going to get to, does this exceed it? Coming back, I know you've been on your own a few times, but did this exceed where you thought you might have been?
Oh, for sure. Look, our goal at the start of the year was, 10 winners. We had one racehorse, I think we had, and we thought that was a realistic goal for us. And we got a couple of horses along the way, and, they won races and brought on a few more, and it sort of all snowballed from there.
I think when I did the interview, I think We Walk by Faith had just walked through the door on that day, but we didn't mention him because out of respect, you were going to talk to Mark and to those as well, and we didn't want to highlight. That's a little bit like, I suppose, your mantra in a way. You fly under the radar a bit, just keep things nice and quiet and steady.
Yeah, that's us, Paul. We just keep our heads down and, do our own thing and, just work hard at the horses, I guess.
Yeah, when I was there, you're building stables. I think you're building, I'm going to say 8. It may not have even been 8. It might have only been 6. You're at Blair Oranges. How many stables have you had to build now?
Yeah, just about need a few more. But no, we're sort of sticking at a cap around 20 odd, So we're not trying to get too big. We're just keeping it intact, doing the job properly. Is
that a juggle for yourselves?
Look, the numbers are increasing. We've got horses coming in the door all the time now, so it sort of works out. We get a few come in and a few go out. It's sort of working good at the moment.
That life balance is a juggle, though, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is, Paul. It's never easy, but if you have a night like last night, it's all worth it.
Well, but you've been having a few of these. I said the other day, flying under the radar a little bit. You've had a year, I suppose, if you like to say, of almost. You've been around the money there a few times with some of these, especially your fillies and that you got coming through. It's going to get tricky for you because you've got some nice horses, progressive horses like We Walk by Faith, Hadron Collider, and Harrison John that look like they'll progress through to open class ranks. How far they go through after that, that's a big question mark for them, but that's a big step. You've got a great band of fillies, a couple of those I want to touch on in a minute as well. Then I imagine you've got some babies. It's going to be a juggle to keep it at 20.
Yeah, it will be, Paul. Like you said, those fillies are shaping up pretty nicely, and also the boys, so pretty handy racing team, coming up.
It is indeed. I'm just trying to find the race last week. So I know one was Arafura and also Wine Light. Just trying to, there it is there. The Renwick Farms, it was there behind Stella Rouge. You must have been wrapped with the runs. You also must have been a little bit frustrated. Firstly, Wine Light, she seems like a very, very progressive and professional filly. Not a lot to her by the looks from the camera anyway, but just a filly that has a good future.
Yeah, she is, Paul. Yeah, no, we really like her. Yeah, she's a bit tradesman-like, but we didn't get a lot of luck probably the last 2 starts with her. But she's gone out for a break now, and every time she comes in, she's got better and better. So I can't see why she won't next time in either.
The other one I wanted to touch on was Arafura. I saw her first win, and I spoke to Mark Hughes from Woodlands because she's a daughter of Sweet Lou, and I said, "Oh, did you see that?" And he said, she won it on protest." She didn't actually win it on protest. She put her head past the post first. She did quite a bit wrong, and the rest. And even now, even in that run there the other day, she looked like a hell of a drive for Ferg, but she looks like she got future. If you can, tap the inside between the ears, I suppose. If you can get inside that and get her switched on, she looks like a really, really nice filly next year.
Yeah, I think so, Paul. She's been a bit of a handful, to get going, to be honest. She's taken a lot of work. At home, we had a fair bit of trouble gating her up, but she's only had, I think we gave her 2 trials last time in and 2 trials this time, and I think we had 4 starts, so you'd think next time in she shouldn't be too far away from being the finished package.
I am cheating if it comes up in time for me. That first start though, her first win at Oamaru, Bobby Budd in the cart, did you sort of walk away from that go, well, or did you go, oh no?
Yeah, I actually started walking back to the stables. I thought we were all over. So, we were pretty confident going into that race. Normally when they gallop halfway up the straight there or wherever it was, she's normally all over, isn't it?
Oh, it is indeed. I'm actually just trying to get it up. I'll put it up here in case people haven't seen it. It is actually going to come up about now. So she's a horse outside of the leader, Bobby Budd, in the cart. And she just sort of wobbles a bit, doesn't she? Bobby doesn't really, she just ducked in. I know the other horse coming out a little bit, and then that was it. She got off stride. There's no chance she wins this race because I think the horse in second, the one of Blair Orange's driving, they had a bit of a go at on the markets as well. So you think, well, she's got no chance. And she ends up being first past the post. It was just a ridiculous turn of foot and not gated up properly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she really had no right to win, to be honest. I just said to Bob, be careful, but he got around the corner and couldn't help himself.
He's driving good, Bobby. He had a great night last night, and he is going good. It must be, one of the great things for you. You've got some good people around you driving these horses. Craig Ferguson, Bobby Butt, Olivia is there as well, driving these horses week in, week out for you. And then I'd love to know Cam Hart and the connection with Harrison John and getting him back over just for the one drive was outstanding.
Yeah, no, we were thrilled to have him on board. I asked him after the Velocity, if he was keen to come back and drive in the Derby, and he said he was keen. So, we're rapt to have him back on board again.
That must give you confidence then with the horse's ability.
Well, that's what I thought, Paul. He was probably, probably thought he should have been a bit closer in the Velocity, I guess. We sort of didn't get much luck. He tried to come out, but didn't get a run, and he sort of lacks that bit of high speed. He found the line well. So when he said he'd come back for the Derby, it gives you a fair bit of confidence anyway.
Yeah, it does indeed. One of the struggles this time of year, especially now the moving of the calendar, keeping these horses in these good group races. You said you're going to sneak away for a couple of days holidays. I imagine you've got a group of babies coming through. How does the 2-year-old draft look for next year?
Pretty good, yeah. We've got about a dozen yearlings, so they're shaping up pretty nice. We've got a few in at the moment, just jogging up. So the last preparation they all sort of hobbled up quite nicely. So we'll get serious with them this time, and see if we can get a few to the races.
What about yourself, Amanda? Are you looking for more owners? Are you looking to grow it? I know you want to try and keep it where you can cap it, but are you looking to branch out a bit more or not?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're always looking for new owners and new horses and whatnot. So, doors are always open.
Right at the minute, Hayden, like a lot of people that get back into it or try and get their numbers going, they get 1 or 2 older horses. You guys don't seem to have that older horse at the minute. You're building from the ground up, if you like, babies. Sorry, Hayden, we're just saying there about younger team and that, and it's pretty much just how it's worked. You're not against having older horses. It's just sort of worked this way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it's just worked out that way. But we're not complaining, Paul. Anyway, it's always good to have those young ones coming through. They're the future of the game.
Are you going to be active at the NZB sales starting in February?
Yes, definitely. Yep. No, we'll be there, sticking our hand up, Paul. Anyway, we've got a few clients looking for horses, so yeah, we'll be active.
That'll get Cam Bray and a few of the crew there very, very happy because you're a very progressive stable. I will let you go. Your surname Cullen. Now, Christian Cullen, the horse was remembered yesterday in a great race, but of course, Christian Cullen himself was a great All Black. I think he was an All Black captain from memory. Are you related?
No relation at all, Paul.
Were you any good at rugby?
Oh, it weren't too bad. No, I sort of played for it in my younger days, but yeah, once I sort of reached high school, weren't very good at that, so that's where it ended, and I got into the horses.
I was going to say, it'd be no good having a surname like Cullen and walking out there. They'd be all ready to get you at that back then.
Yeah, that's right.
Hayden, thank you very much for joining me, to yourself and Amanda and Cullen Racing. You go by Cullen Racing on Facebook, don't we?
Yes, that's right, Paul. Yep.
I encourage people to get in there and give them a follow. Keep up to date with them. If you're looking to, get a horse for the sales and that, reach out to them as well, because very, very progressive stable. I think it's been an amazing year, Hayden. Hopefully you get a couple more winners, but you might not have too many more racing for the end of the year. But I think it's just great stats and capped off with a Group 1. I think it's a mighty effort. So thank you very much for joining me, mate. And thanks to Amanda in the background too. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thanks very much, Paul. Appreciate it.
Over the Ditch is a weekly show with Trackside's Matt Markham. Midweek, we'll be also bringing you interviews and stories, I suppose, leading up to the yearling sales for next year, with NZB selling 343 yearlings this year over 2 days, the 15th, Saturday the 15th in Auckland, and Christchurch on the 18th of February. Brecon Farms have a huge draft of 38 yearlings, as well as Woodland Stud with 35. Harasta Trotter is selling 9 trotters this season on the North and South Islands, and Aldebaran Park are represented by 1. Thank you very much to these guys who support me, get behind me and promote me. Tune in weekly, as I said, with Trackside's Matt Markham.